Hey guys, what's up? I hope you're doing well. Now, I want to talk today about the Gabby Petito murder and the subsequent recently released Netflix documentary, which has the most basic title, by the way. Where did it happen? What happened? She got murdered in America. A murder in America. An American murder. Perfect title. Lazy title. But on a serious note, of course, what happened is very tragic. We've had a very young girl here have her entire life taken away because her boyfriend sucks, because he's a piece of shit, because he feels he has the right to strangle her to death because of some kind of dispute, because they're not getting along. You know what would be better than doing that? Break up. Let her go with someone else. But no, he was too insecure and controlling to do that, wasn't he? He might have felt like, I don't really like this whole travel vlog shit that she's doing. I don't want to be involved in this. I don't even know if we've got much in common. But if she fucks someone else, I'm gonna fucking kill her. This is commonly what we see with these domestic abuse cases. These guys, and it can be women, but let's be honest, men typically are more likely to attack or have the capacity to be violent and outweigh a woman's strength. It's just true. Unless you're like Ronda Rousey or something, most of the time we would worry that the man is the one abusing. Because if a woman tried to abuse the man, he can probably defend himself if he wants. And this is what the police obviously got wrong with the body cam footage. Gabby's crying, she's not really saying a lot. They talk to Brian, he's very calm, seems a nice guy, has kind eyes, has marks on his face. He's the one who's been abused. You know what we're going to do, guys? We're going to pop him in a hotel for domestic survivors, domestic abuse survivors. This poor little guy's been attacked. And Gabby, you're sentenced to a lonely travel by yourself as a young woman. Now, I'm not suggesting that a woman can't travel in a vehicle by herself without being, attacked or something or preyed upon. But we know what this world is like. An attractive young girl on her own, some creep might get her, might do something. And Gabby was a very beautiful girl, seemed like a really nice person, had a really nice smile, a lot of positive energy. I think she had fallen a bit into that whole, I want to be Instagram famous and I want to be a YouTuber for no reason. I've been there. You could argue, why am I even doing this now? Good point. But a lot of people want this now. People see it. The most successful YouTubers getting millions of views, making millions of pounds or dollars, traveling the world. Like, who doesn't want to be them? Buying all these Lamborghinis and shit. Well, the rest of us deal with the reality of most jobs where, you wake up in the morning, are you excited to go to work? It's Monday. Are you happy about that? No, you're not, are you? But many of us realise in time that, maybe you gave it a go, didn't work out for me. I would argue that a lot of the successful YouTubers have no talent, have no personality, but know the right people or just got lucky. Some of them are entertaining to watch. And if I'm brutally honest, and I'm saying brutally honest because it feels a bit disrespectful because Gabby's dead, but I'm just going to say it anyway because I feel it's good to be honest. At least based on the video she put out, I would not watch that content. It's got 8 million views now, or more than that maybe, probably, because of Netflix. But at the time, I don't think many people would have differentiated that video from any other of someone just filming their lives. It's a little bit narcissistic or vain. And narcissistic not in a way that she's a narcissist and abuses people psychologically, but in a way that hey guys, am I looking good? Fuck yeah, I am. I'm just going to put that as a clip on my own. Just this guy's an arrogant piece of shit. But the content's pretty much just her walking around in nice places not doing anything. And Brian hey, I'm on camera. I really don't fucking like being on camera. This story reminded me of Shannon Watts and Chris Watts. I don't know why I paused there. Just Shannon Watts. I could have just said Shannon and Chris Watts. Because up until that point, everyone would have thought he's maybe quite a quiet, nice guy, but clearly had an anger issue and bottled a lot of stuff up and didn't assert himself well. And I'm not saying that's why he was a murderer. Maybe he's just an awful, terrible person, murdering his own children. Unredeemable. Awful thing to do, obviously. But It's a similar dynamic, I thought, to what we were seeing here. Not necessarily the same, but what did we see in that other documentary if you watched it? We saw, and they've got a very similar title, wasn't that called An American Something Else? I think so. But we see a lot of Shannon on camera going, hey, Chris is here, like acting all happy and fake. It's all fake. And you need to realise this, by the way. When you see a friend of yours, and they maybe not a close friend, but someone that you remotely know, and they're posting, and every post is just always good. Like, this person's life is just so fucking good. I guarantee it's not. I guarantee, just like you, a lot of their life is really mundane, repetitive. They really can't be fucked to get out of bed and do it all again this week. But they have to. They have no choice. Maybe they've got kids that they have to look after and raise. And they have to keep the money coming in. We're all in a bit of a fight. I'm sure even the wealthy people that are actually making a ton of money from this shit, like, I don't know, Jake Paul, it's not always good for them either. I'm sure he's not happy with some of the content he used to make, where he was a little prick. He's grown on me a bit, honestly. And I think maybe some other people as well. He just seems a bit calmer now. Maybe that sort of teenage testosterone and hype's died down and he's now just a bit more, I wouldn't say humble because he's wearing Rolexes and, you know, buying cars all the time, but he doesn't seem an awful person anymore. That's just my view. So I want to comment that as well, Brian's family, his parents specifically, defending him. Is that what most people would do? I'm trying to imagine if I had a child that I'd loved and raised for years, and I maybe knew they were a little bit awkward, or maybe they had a bit of a temper. If they called me and said, Dad, I've just fucking killed my girlfriend, I've just strangled her, what would my initial reaction be? I don't know. I have no idea. But the fact that the parents avoided all contact with Gabby's family, refused to speak to them, refused to cooperate with the police, and then his mum obviously wrote that letter where she pretty much said, burn this, but, you know, I would always be there for you. If you needed to bury a body, I'll be along your side digging the grave. What a fucking horrible piece of shit to say that. To even side with him is awful, of course, but to, like, write that letter really speaks to the kind of person she is. And she seemed to never like Gabby, that was clear from the documentary. I felt really bad for, like, the ex-boyfriend, because, again, he was looking at these Instagram posts that Gabby was putting out with Brian, thinking, oh, should have been us. Like, I kind of still love her or whatever. And she's living this great life traveling now. But then, of course, he realizes in retrospect, she wasn't. And that isn't to say everybody on Instagram posting pictures on holiday or having a gap year traveling isn't actually having a good time. But they're not going to tell you, hey, when I was taking this picture, I had to move quite a lot because there were flies circling around me because it's really hot out here and you get a lot of flies. It's all like, hey, my life's perfect. Subscribe, bitches. For what reason? So all I'm saying, we can learn from this that domestic abuse is sometimes unavoidable. No one necessarily saw this coming in this case. I mean, there were a few red flags, and maybe a couple of Gabby's friends were like, that guy seems really controlling, but no one knows, and no one can necessarily stop it from happening. But if you are aware of anything like that happening, if someone tells you, hey, mate, I had a dispute and I smacked my girl, I'd be like, well, I'm not your friend anymore, motherfucker, because I'm not friends with piece of shit. But I don't think that happens. I think most of the time when this happens, it is going on secretly, and it's just this weird little secret between the couple. Neither of them tell anybody. The woman out of fear, the man out of, I guess, shame or just not wanting to get caught. But try and be a good person. That's the moral of the story. And don't keep looking at YouTubers and Instagram people and think, oh, I want to be like that just because it's fucking easy. Easier than having to work for the rest of my life. Think, what do I actually have going for me that I can offer the world? Not, I just want the easy way out. I'm not saying 100% that's what Gabby was trying to do. But I think she was maybe a little misguided in her aspirations for the world. And I hope that isn't disrespectful. I doubt the family will watch this video. I would expect this video to get about 5 views like the rest of my channel does. No hard feelings. But if they were watching, of course, I'd say I'm really sorry for what happened. And I hope you can heal from it as best you can, because with something like this, you'll never heal fully, of course. That kind of grief, knowing that your daughter should still be in your life, but someone felt they had the right to take that away from her and you, that's very difficult to live with, of course. So yeah, my thoughts go out to anyone affected by this kind of stuff, not just in Gabby's case, but if you've been affected in the past, because apparently it's quite common, domestic abuse and violence. I just hope all the best for you guys. Cheers for watching.